Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Time, where we talk about the movies we like.
And the ones we do not.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Molly.
And we're here to talk about Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Barbenheimer.
As the internet has colloquially decided to call these two movies. So these movies came out on the same day of this month, July
21st, I believe.
of 2023. So we're going to talk about Barbie, because that's the first one. That's the one we saw first.
Yep.
So, Barbie is directed by Greta Gerwig and stars Margot Robbie as Barbie and Ryan Gosling as Ken. It also stars Issa Rae as another Barbie, Kate McKinnon as another Barbie, Alexandra Shipp, Emma Mackey, Hari Neff, Sharon Rooney, Anna Cruz Kanye, Arya, Dua Lipa, Nicole Coughlan, Emerald Fennell, also as other Barbies. Lots of Barbies.
Lots of Barbies.
As well as Simu Liu, Kingsley Ben-Adir, Ncuti Gatwa, Scott Evans, and John Cena as other Kens. This movie also features Michael Cera as Alan, America Ferrera as Gloria, Ariana Greenblatt as Gloria's daughter Sasha, Rhea Perlman as Ruth, the creator of Barbie, Helen Mirren as the narrator, and Will Ferrell as the Mattel CEO. So, Barbie. I'm going to let you take the lead on this one.
Yeah. Well, there has been lots of hype for Barbie. Lots of advertising. Everyone knew about this movie's release.
Yep.
And a whole bunch of people went and saw this movie. Oh my gosh.
Sorry,
Tyler just accidentally hit me.
Speaking to the mic.
Anyways, I am. But anyways, a lot of people have come out to see Barbie. And it does not disappoint.
No, it does not.
It does not. I really enjoyed it, I guess. I can't really find the words to put into it, but the characters are hilarious. Ken is hilarious. Ryan Gosling, I think, was my favorite part of the movie. And I'm not saying that just because he looked really good, but still, the Kens were hilarious. It was just so funny to see these Barbies come to life, and the Kens just had like no thoughts in their brains, which just really was a nice part until the end, of course.
So basically in this movie, something's going wrong with Barbie. Her feet are flat and everything is going wrong in her dream house. So she has to go to Weird Barbie, who tells her that someone's playing with her wrong, or weirdly. So she's got to go to the real world and figure things out, and Ken joins her. And while they're in the real world, Barbie, well, she meets the person who's been putting all these thoughts of death into her head. And Ken learns about the patriarchy.
Yep.
And he thinks that the patriarchy is all about men and horses. Which is weird, because when you realize that horses' societies are matriarchal. But how's Ken supposed to know that?
Yeah. He never got to reading the books that he stole from the library, so.
So, Ken turns Barbie Land into Ken Land, his Kendom Land.
Yeah.
And he turns Barbie's dream house into his Mojo Dojo Casa house, which...
it's a little wordy. A lot of words, don't really need to be said, but it's a cool title, I guess. Cool name for a house.
And while this is going on, the CEO of Mattel, Will Ferrell, is trying to get things right, set things right, because this happened before with Skipper coming to Key West to babysit some kids.
Yeah, I really like Will Ferrell's character, too, because we think he's going to be a bad guy, but...
He's just really silly.
Not. Yeah, he's just goofy and hilarious, and I just really like how Will Ferrell puts so much dramatic acting into this role, when it's not a very serious role, but he handles it very seriously, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, Will Ferrell's comedy can be hit or miss sometimes, but it was definitely a lot more hits than misses here.
Oh yeah.
Which, that's another thing about this movie. It's really funny.
Oh yeah, for sure. I cracked up at so many places.
And this was our second time seeing it, too.
Yeah, and we were still laughing.
We saw it at the Rock and Roll Drive-In in Chaffee, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing that out there for any of you who want to go there.
Any locals. Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to watch it again because we're able to focus more on all the details in the background or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the first time we were just concentrated on the story and all that.
The main story, yeah.
But now we can just, play a little go fish with everything going on.
Yeah.
Now.
Sorry.
Oh, what did you have to say?
I was gonna talk about Alan.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Another character that I thought did a really good job was Alan, played by Michael Cera. A hilarious character. He doesn't really fit in with the other Kins. Well, that's because he's not a Kin. He's Kin's buddy.
He's
and
Alan.
all of Kin's clothes fit him. But Michael Cera does a really good job. He's also a funny character in this movie.
Michael Cera's, any one of his characters just has that awkward, funny energy that I love.
Yeah, hilarious.
Whether it's George Michael or Scott Pilgrim or Robin from Lego Batman. I love it.
Yeah.
All the other kids call me Dick. Well, children can be cruel.
Yeah.
And Ken has some pretty great lines. Alan has one of the funniest when they're trying to escape Barbie Land to go back to the real world. He sees all the Kens trying to build a wall, and he says, when they figure out they have to build it sideways instead of up.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
And we just see the Kens on a ladder building this brick, column just up.
Yeah, they know they have to build a wall, but they're building it tall instead of over the road, and it's hilarious. It's my favorite part. I think I just die.
And then, like an absolute Chad, Alan beats up all the Kens.
Yeah.
I mean, you think looking at this guy, he's a twink, but yet he's just beating them all up and scaring the rest of the Kens away.
Because all the Kens are really jacked, and and Alan's just Michael Cera, so. But it's hilarious, really funny.
Speaking of twinks, they had Cockring Ken in it as a cameo. It's just funny to me.
Is that his real name?
That's not his real name. Why would Mattel name a Ken Cockring Ken?
That's why I was confused. You got to clear it up for the audience. They don't know what you're talking about, man.
Look, if they're watching a review on Barbie, they probably know what Cockring Ken is. But I will explain it to you because I gotta.
You have to.
Okay, so back when Ken was coming out, Mattel sent people undercover to the clubs and stuff to figure out what was hip to a hip way to dress Ken up as. So they went to a lot of gay bars, and they based his look off of the patrons of that bar, all the gay men, and for that Ken doll. Now this is a pretty rare collector's item nowadays. He had a ring on a necklace, which is a cock ring.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That makes sense now. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, so that's the origins of Cockring Ken. Am I saying cockring too much for this
yes,
episode?
Yes.
I know, but...
You are.
So, on Twitter, which doesn't matter, but I'm saying it anyways, there's a lot of discussion about this movie's feminine things and how it treats men. Yeah, I got nothing on that. So, how about you take a crack at this? Like, how do you feel about this movie's feminine message and all that stuff?
It's not subtle.
Not really,
for sure. However,
it's kind of gotta be that way.
Yeah, it's just how it has to be. It's not I think people are making a way too big of a deal of it because I mean this is just a movie to enjoy and to laugh at and to just kind of reflect on how our society is.
I mean, if you get something out of it, then by all means, good for
Yeah.
you. But I mean, for us at least, we're just having a good time here.
Yeah.
Now, there are some things to be said though, since the Kens in Barbie Land are kind of well, no one cares about Ken.
Yeah.
I mean, we hear that from the Mattel executives. We hear it from Barbie herself. I mean, in real life, no one cares about Ken.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't really say I'm too much. I'm too knowledgeable about Barbie outside of conquering Ken. But yeah, when people hear Barbie, they don't typically think Ken too.
Yeah.
And so throughout this movie, Ken's trying to discover what he's like, you know, what he's about,
Mm-hmm.
and he's able to get the power that the Barbies had and take it for him and the other Kens
Yeah.
until they get it taken away because they're kind of dumb still.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I could say this because it's true. Men are kind of stupid sometimes. Like, it's just. It's something my mom used to always say. Women are evil and men are dumb. But yeah, like sometimes we get distracted over little insignificant crap that we miss the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Because you know, at one point, all the Kens go to war with each other because you know they're trying to figure out, you know, who has power over them, and then they miss the vote on changing the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the little insignificant stuff really gets to us sometimes.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought this movie was a really fun time.
Mm-hmm.
And
I did too.
I'm definitely going to be talking about it on our best of year at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Probably not in my top 5. It's not in my top 5, but definitely an honorable mention.
We'll see. It's just one of those movies you can laugh at it, but then at the end, it also makes you want to just tear up and cry. You know, crawl into a ball and cry. I guess. There's a lot of emotion in this movie as well, and it kind of takes you as a surprise at the end.
Yeah,
you're having so much fun and laughing, and then you're like, oh, what am I supposed to do?
This movie is very existential for a Barbie movie.
Yeah.
Like,
mm-hmm.
it just hits you right at the end. Or not really at the end only, because throughout
Yeah.
there's that here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it's surprisingly existential for a Barbie movie.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So,
but, yeah.
so what was your favorite part?
Oh my. There are a lot of good parts. And I don't know if this is my favorite part exactly, because there were so many good parts, but the part that's in my head right now is the Kin song and the dance number that goes with that.
Dude, I've been listening to that song almost nonstop for the last week.
Yeah. You know all the words now. Mm-hmm.
On my Spotify analytics, it's the number one song that I've been listening to for the last couple weeks in the last month. And for all time, it's at number 44.
Oh my.
Which is crazy. I'm just feeling that Kenergy.
Yeah, you have a lot of Kenergy. Would you say that's your favorite part too, or you have a different one?
I would, but I want to talk about something else.
Okay.
My favorite scene besides that might be... it's hard to choose.
It really is.
But if I have to choose something besides I'm Just Ken, then I might have to say... you know, yeah, I'm just gonna say it. It's just I'm just Ken.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's got its nice moments and it's got its fun moments and it's got its funny moments. So it's hitting all the buttons.
Yeah.
Now, who was your favorite character here?
I gotta go with Ken. Well, Ryan Gosling's Ken.
Ryan Gosling's
I
Ken.
gotta be a little bit more specific. He was funny. He was, how do I put this lightly? Easy to look at.
That's true. He had a nice character arc.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like on the internet, on certain parts of it that I frequent, there's a meme where Ryan Gosling is literally me. And
oh, I wish.
Me too. Now, how did this meme start? I don't know. Probably had something to do with Blade Runner 2049 or La La Land. Or Drive. Probably Drive. But yeah, it's just all of us on this specific corner of the internet post pictures of Ryan Gosling, and then others will say, "Where'd you get this picture of me?" Or something like that.
Oh, I bet that doesn't get old.
Oh, it doesn't, actually.
Oh, no. I was being sarcastic. But yeah, Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie look great in this movie. Makes me jealous, but what can you do?
It's okay.
Yeah.
We can get their clothes and feel nice about ourselves too.
Yes.
Especially Ken's white mink.
Yes. It was very nice.
So,
anything else?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
I really recommend it. If you... Oh, Willie was about to unplug the microphone. Okay. I really recommend it if you haven't went and saw it yet.
Me too. Next, we're going to talk about Oppenheimer, the movie about one man and how he created the nuke and then felt really bad about it. I'm paraphrasing, but...
Yeah.
Now, Oppenheimer is the latest movie from Christopher Nolan. And just sit back, because this cast list is going to take... it's going to take a minute, okay?
Yeah. Before you get into the cast, I will say that I have not seen it yet. Tyler went and watched it himself while I stayed home and did some work around the house. So I'll let Tyler take it away, I guess, because I have no thoughts or opinions.
No thoughts.
No thoughts, yeah.
Head empty.
Yeah.
Brain scrambled eggs.
That's what I feel like.
Okay, so Oppenheimer stars Cillian Murphy as the titular J. Robert Oppenheimer. Emily Blunt plays his wife Kitty. Robert Downey Jr. is in it as Louis Strauss. You'll see about his character. Alden Ehrenreich, Scott Grimes, Jason Clarke, Kurt Kohler, Tony Goldwyn, John Goins, Macon Blair, James Darcy, Kenneth Branagh, Harry Groener, Ted King, Tim DeKay, Stephen Huska, Tom Conti, David Krumholtz, Matthias Schweighofer, Josh Hartnett, Alex Wolff, Josh Zuckerman, Rory Keane, Dylan Arnold, Emma Dumont, Florence Pugh, Sadie Stratton, Jefferson Hall, Guy Burnett, Tom Jenkins, Matthew Modine, David Dasmalchian, Matt Damon, Dane DeHaan, Josh Peck, Jack Quaid, Benny Safdie, Gustav Skarsgård, Devin Bostic, Rami Malek, Olivia Thirlby, Casey Affleck, James Remar, Stephen Coulter, Adam Kroger, and Gary Oldman.
Dang. That's a big cast.
And I skipped over names, too. All of those people are in this movie. And this movie is 3 hours long, first off. But it is a good 3 hours. It is so awesome, man. It's just something else. So, Nolan plays with color in this movie in a neat way. There's segments that take place in color that are supposed to represent Oppenheimer's his perspective on things, which isn't entirely, objective. It's just how he's seeing things and how things appear to him. Because in one scene, he's in a hearing, and we see the the lead interrogator, well, not interrogator, but the prosecution on the other side yelling at him, and a nuke goes off in this scene. That's clearly not happening for real. It's just how it feels to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's scenes that take place in black and white, which are how things, actually happened. Just one-to-one actual reality. And it's neat to see Oppenheimer act in different ways in black and white and the color scenes. It's really a great performance from Cillian Murphy, who he's appeared in quite a few of Christopher Nolan's movies. He was the Scarecrow in the Dark Knight trilogy. He was in Inception. He was in Dunkirk. But this is the first time he has an actual leading role, and it's great. Nolan should have given him a leading role a long time ago. Actually, he was up for the role of Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Interesting.
Yeah, both he and Christian Bale auditioned for the role. They did screen tests in the Batman Forever suit, the one that Val Kilmer wore. Mm-hmm. And honestly, yeah, Bale was the right choice. But could you imagine a world where these roles were switched, where Bale played the Scarecrow and Murphy played Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
That would have been cool. So, the story of J. Robert Oppenheimer is it's a very interesting one. We see in the movie him in school up until the late 50s, where he's getting interrogated about his possible anti-American activities and whether he should keep his security clearance, which he doesn't keep his security clearance, but he's not. But in regards to his anti-American activities, he had none. He was a loyal citizen. But he was under suspicion because of previous communist ties. You see, he was a member of a union when he was a professor at Berkeley. He had left-wing leaning proclivities and associated with known communists. Now, not so great under McCarthyism, obviously. Not so great now because communism is absolutely disgusting and I hate it. But he wasn't a communist himself. He's just interested in the ideology from like a academic point of view. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his wife, his brother, his mistress, they were all at one point communists.
Our fat cat is causing problems. Sorry.
And this movie is also about the actual Manhattan Project and Project Trinity, when they tested the first nuclear bomb. And oh man, that scene where they actually set it off. It was probably one of the most tense scenes I've seen in a movie in a long time. Mm-hmm. And that's counting horror too. It gets intense with them slowly counting down to the actual detonation. And then when it happens,
I've heard that it's silent at first.
it is, because that's how a nuclear bomb is. Okay. When you're
I don't know.
When you're so far away.
Yeah, sound travels slow.
Yeah, the speed of light is faster than sound, obviously. Mm-hmm. So you see the flash. You see the actual mushroom cloud before the sound and the blast actually hits you. It's, oh man. And keep in mind, Nolan did none of this with CGI. Not even kidding.
So how did he do it?
Well,
did he actually set up a bomb somewhere?
No, he used practical effects and camera trickery to actually make this. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I always love practical effects over CGI any day.
Like, there's as little CGI in this movie as possible. Okay? in India, they CGI'd a dress over Florence Pugh's naked body because of censorship stuff.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm not going to say they should or shouldn't do that. I'm just saying that's weird. Mm-hmm. But whatever. Because, I mean, the movie's already R-rated. So, who's taking kids to see this? Although, granted, aside from the couple of sex scenes in this movie and the language, which, okay, they probably dropped a couple more F-bombs than needed just so they can get that R rating. But other than that, this movie isn't really too graphic. I mean, there's a hallucination where Oppenheimer accidentally steps in a burnt-out corpse of an atomic bomb victim, but I've seen worse than that in PG-13 movies. You know, it's not really... But, whatever, it's okay. Mm-hmm. Now, this movie also takes place between several different time periods. We jump back and forth between Strauss's getting his... trying to get his cabinet position. We go to Oppenheimer at his hearing. We go to the actual Manhattan Project itself. We go to him in school. We go all over the place. It's really pretty interesting how Nolan cuts between all these different time periods, and I really liked. I could follow this really easily. So, I'd ask you what you thought of the movie, but you haven't seen it.
Nah, I'll get around to it. I will. It's 3 hours long, and I really have. I don't like to sit in a theater for that long, honestly. I get bored.
Well, watch the movie.
And I have
That's
a
why
feeling,
you're there.
I know it's probably a very good movie, very well done, but I have a feeling I'm not gonna like it just because of what I've heard about it. It's just not my type of movie. So I don't want to sit in a theater for 3 hours and feel like I could be doing other things.
Well,
but I will watch it one of these days.
Well, for me, what draws me to this movie is a couple things. One, Christopher Nolan. He's one of my favorite directors. I just love all of his work that I've seen. I haven't seen some of his stuff like Memento or Following, or I haven't seen Tenet yet. I really should get around to it, but all the stuff that I have seen, I really love.
Excuse me, I have the hiccups, sorry.
And another thing, Oppenheimer himself. He's one of my favorite historical figures. Mm-hmm. I really like learning about him and his whole trying to do this thing because he believes in the science of it, but then stepping back and realizing what exactly he's done, because he had a lot of guilt over the nukes, obviously.
Yeah, it would be hard not to.
And like in real life, he did oppose the creation of the hydrogen bomb because he felt like it would lead to another arms race between them and the Soviet Union, which it did. Mm-hmm. And just him trying to make that clear to people, it's like, this guy knows what he's talking about. Why aren't you people listening to him? But on the other hand, supposedly Oppenheimer was kind of a prick, which, you would definitely get that feeling from the movie. But prick or not, he's kind of right. It's just, how much you want to believe he's saying this stuff because he believes in, that we shouldn't be doing it because just on the matter of national security, or if he's saying it because he wants to be at the center of attention of it all and wants people to listen to him. Who knows? The movie is kind of ambiguous about that too. And I love ambiguity in movies like this, where you both want to be on this guy's side, but you also see why others aren't. Mm-hmm. Man, if it wasn't clear by now, I really like this movie. It's definitely my favorite movie of the year so far. it's possible something could come along to change that. I don't remember what else is coming this year, but I enjoyed it so much. And when I got out of the theater, I texted you and Alex saying that I came into this movie thinking that it was going to be the best of the year, but I was wrong, and this is one of the best of the decade so far.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand by that still because this was magnificent. I loved it, loved it, and I can't wait to see what's next from Nolan because he has never disappointed me yet, and I hope it stays like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you have anything to say?
I didn't see the movie.
Well, just in general.
Nope. I've spoken my piece. I have nothing to say.
All right. Now, my favorite scene of this was, honestly, yeah, the, Trinity when they tested the nuke. That was just visually spectacular, absolutely amazing. But aside from that, kind of hard, but actually no, the ending, because like in real life, there was a point where they believed that there was a possibility of setting a nuke off could lead to a chain reaction of them setting the atmosphere on fire, which would kill us all. Obviously, that didn't happen because we're all here to
We're still
talk
alive.
about it. But yeah, I'm not sure if Oppenheimer met with Albert Einstein about this in real life. It's entirely possible he did, but he was explaining to him why he gave him the calculations that he did, which was set up by a Hungarian scientist in the movie, played by Benny Safdie, who was advocating for the hydrogen bomb throughout, the whole Manhattan Project in the movie. He said when he was talking about with Einstein at the pond, he was telling him that he was worried that they might set off a chain reaction that could lead to the end of the world, but Oppenheimer also realized that maybe they did, which, if you look at history, it's kind of hard to argue against that because
it's only been going downhill since.
Yeah, we've had the creation of ICBMs, the hydrogen bomb, the Cuban Missile Crisis, our current crisis in Ukraine, which is still going on, unfortunately. You can't help but realize, yeah, he's kind of right, again. And also, funny thing about that Hungarian scientist, supposedly, he kind of messed up on the calculations for a hydrogen test in the Pacific, which was Castle Bravo, which led to the irradiation of countless Japanese fishermen and the deaths of some of them, which was one of the primary inspirations for Godzilla.
That's fun. Well,
that's not fun.
Not fun. Interesting, I should say.
That's not fun for
I
the men who died.
I didn't mean to say fun.
Which actually, that fishing boat that those men were on can be seen at a museum in Japan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would love to go do that one of these days. Love to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows?
Yeah.
That will have to do it for us on Oppenheimer. It's an amazing movie. Go see it. I want to go see it again. I probably will.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't surprise me.
But we'll catch you guys next time.
See you next time.